returning to Kuwait, including soldiers from Fort Huachuca, are going to be involved in a military exercise. But how serious is the current situation with Iraq? And how much more serious could it become? And just about everyone has disagreed with their paper's editorial and news coverage on occasion, but how many of us decide to print our own news? We'll talk to one local man who does. Stay tuned for Impact.
This is Eyewitness News Impact with Russ Lewis.
Ever had a gripe with the local media, television, newspaper, radio? Well, how many of you have the guts to go out and maybe start printing your own newspaper or newsletter? One Tucson man has done that and is doing some interesting things with a newsletter magazine called Speak Up America. Chuck Diaz is the editor, and he's with us. Thanks for being here, Chuck. I appreciate it. Should I call this a newsletter or a paper? What is it exactly?
It's a newsletter.
Okay, it's about 8 pages long here. Here it is. It's called Speak Up America. Let me just read underneath here the heading. It says, dedicated to the return of common sense in our laws, a return to morality in our decisions, the elimination of any obscenity reaching our kids, and the proliferation of environmental truth. That's a wide spectrum of stuff. Is this basically the reason you started this up?
Absolutely. It originally started about a year ago when they were voting on H.R. 1, the Civil Rights Bill, and talking about the hyphenated American, and I'm totally opposed to the hyphenated American. Whenever I speak to any audience or to anyone, I introduce myself as Chuck Diaz. I'm an American of Mexican descent. I'm not a Hispanic American. I'm not a Latin American. I'm not a Latino. I'm an American of Mexican descent.
Upset about this enough to go out and start your own newsletter?
That's what the first thing that I did was I wrote an article that was printed in the Tucson Citizen, and it talked about the what I call the hyphenated American, the Afro-American, the Mexican-American, and I got quite a bit of response from that. And then I was asked to appear on the What It Means to Be an American show on KNST here in town on July 4th of last year, and it just started going from there.
Snowballed. How many issues you have so far?
I've put out 8 issues. The first one went out around December.
Yeah. How often? Once a month or so?
Once a month.
Yeah. I'll tell you the headline, to be honest with you, that caught my eye here is right on the front page, Media Obstructs the Truth. Now, we could do a whole show on this, but since we only have a few minutes, let's talk a little bit about that. Is the media in general that bad, in your opinion? In
my opinion, the media is probably linked to most of the problems that we have. And I'm talking about the national media.
Letting us off the hook here locally?
Letting the local
Thanks.
people
Let the host
off
the hook whenever you can.
Right. The national dominant media is involved in most of the problems that we have because they have left the realm of reporting news, and they now have agendas, and they even help create news.
And do the agenda a liberal agenda, as a lot of people charge?
Considering that, according to the Accuracy in Media report of, I forget how long ago, 83% of the people involved in the national media are Democrats, and Democrats would have to be kind of associated with a liberal agenda. I would say yes to that.
You tackle a lot of different issues in the one newsletter I have here, and some very controversial ones. Is it fair to say that Speak Up America is a pretty conservative viewpoint for the most part?
I would say it's a conservative viewpoint, yeah.
Could the LAPD-4 actually be innocent? Question mark. That's a headline here.
That was written by an attorney in was it West Virginia or someplace like that, and who has had experience in those kind of cases. Speak Up America, as it grows to a magazine, is intended to have Americans write the articles instead of the media writing articles that the media like to hear, because the media interviews the media and lives with the media for the media.
So you have not only writings by yourself in here, I see a good portion of it is written by yourself, but you have other people send in things, and you reprint some things from other parts of the country.
That's correct.
Okay. Well, how's it been going so far? What's the response been?
It's been very good. I haven't really had any negative responses. It has grown quite a bit, considering that I started in January with 0. This month, I'm printing over 1,500 to 2,000 copies that are going all over the United States. In fact, today I got a call from the president of a lumber company in Arkansas, who received that copy and was so happy to receive it. He called me and thanked me for sending it to him, telling me that he was going to subscribe to it, and was telling me some of the problems that the lumber industry and his sawmill in Arkansas are having right now because some of the things that the environmentalists are trying to do.
Now, you mentioned in the newsletter here that the environment is a big issue as far as you're concerned. What kind of things with the environment do you try and tackle?
Well, number one, the fact that the media in 1989 made a decision at a conference held by the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, where the heads of NBC, ABC, CBS, Turner, Times Warner, the LA Times, had a conference on the global environment. Are we overreacting? The end result of that conference, by a statement made by the science editor of Time magazine, quote, "As the science editor of Time, I would freely admit that on this issue we have crossed the boundary from news reporting to advocacy," end quote. And considering that the scientific world has tried to break through the blockade put up by the media to tell us the truth about global warming and the ozone depletion, falsehoods that are being professed by the media and by the pseudoscientists, including our next Vice President of the United States, these are the things I'd lost my train of thought. But these are the things
that's right. But you're saying that the American people are getting some, I don't know, lies, I guess, about the way the environmental problems are and how bad they are?
Before you call it a lie, you have to determine why they're saying something. Why something is presented. If you say that there's an ounce of truth in a pound of story, and then try to pass that off as truth, then as far as I'm concerned, you're a liar. When you are the president of NBC News and you don't think people should carry guns, and you decide that you want the Second Amendment to the Constitution repealed, and you use the power of NBC News and prime time to put on your agenda, because that's his personal agenda. When you start doing things like that, you are no longer reporting the news. You are an activist.
And this, the newsletter, making a small effort to change that, to go the other way at least, because this is obviously a lot of advocacy as well. What I
hope to do is, and if you notice in the very first article, I end it with, "Don't you think it's time for you to find out if I know what I'm talking about?" That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to read an opposing view that you're not going to see on the national media, and decide to go out and find out for themselves who's telling the truth. When I quote something, I'll quote some scientific review panels, and I won't be quoting CNN.
So you're trying to get people to think, I guess.
Absolutely.
Well, you say you're growing, things are going well, you're printing right here in Tucson, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you make this go? I don't see any advertising here.
No, I started that out by myself. My background is in computers, so I have my own PC and desktop publishing. I have my own copying machine, and I just go to it right in one room and ship them out from there.
You run them off. It's got to cost you something, though. You charge subscription rates, I guess?
I've been giving them out for free, and I just, with this issue, switched over to a subscription base. However, because I want this to get out to people, I've got on here that if they can't afford the $12 a year, to send me 12 first-class stamps, and I'll put them on the subscription list.
Okay. I want to give you a chance here to get the word out at least to Tucson, and that's why we've put your name and address and phone number, I guess, actually your phone number right here on a graphic. So people want to check out Speak Up America. Whether you agree or disagree with what's in here, it's definitely some interesting viewpoints. There's a phone number for you right there, 749-8425. Is that your home, your office?
That's the office for Speak Up America.
Yeah. And I think it's... you know, it's good reading whether you agree with what's in here or not, because you're right, it does make you think. I read one article in here that that I kind of agree with, and another that I just couldn't believe was actually on paper. I disagreed with it so much, but at least I was thinking about it, and I guess that's the point, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Which one was that?
Oh, no. You're not gonna reel me in that easy.
I'm glad to talk to you about it.
Well, maybe after we're done here. But media obstructs the truth. I don't know about that, but I understand where you're coming from with some things, and it's good to see a guy who just happened to be a little upset about something, take it on himself, and I guess things are going well.
It actually started when in 1987 I went to Korea the first time, and I've been over there a number of times, and that's where I really started noticing different things. The first thing I noticed was the work ethic over there. The next thing was I was fortunate enough to be invited to a 61st birthday of a Korean gentleman, and over there that's a very, very big deal to reach 61 years old. And I started noticing the family ethics. And coming back over here and looking at things, and for over 50 years, I was a person that just didn't get involved in anything. And noticing that made me decide to start doing this kind of stuff.
Chuck, we got to go. Thanks a lot. Good luck to you. See you next week.
Thank you.